Is it dark again?
Yep. They like the light. It's ambient. There you go.
Just gotta know where the light switches are.
Next time.
So you and
Oh, good morning.
didn't mean to scare you.
Yeah.
You and Howie have both stressed in the past the importance of getting, one of those 2 first-round buys in the playoffs. On that note, how good is this Falcons team that you're playing Week 1? And then secondly, how important it is to get a win against them?
I'm on to the Browns.
How important it is to get a win against them in order to achieve that first round?
Well, wow, that's a lot in one question. Good morning. I know this, that every team in the National Football League wants to start fast, meaning win their first game. I talk to the team a lot, as you guys know, about goals, obviously, and one of them is we definitely have to win our home games. I mean, it's just, it's part of it. Does it mean that we're not in the postseason if we don't win the home opener? No, it's a long season. So, it's hard to sit here and speculate, but excuse me, I do know that we're going to coach and play and do everything we can to win the first game of the season. That's obviously a sign in the right direction. But as far as the postseason, there's so much football after that I don't think one game's going to make or break your season.
Week 12.
Nick Foles.
What's keeping JJ out of practice?
Lower body. Yeah, lower body and rest right now. Yeah.
Will Nick Foles play on Thursday?
Yes, he will. Yeah.
How long do you think to play your starters? Is that decision?
Typically, this game, I'd like to see them at least get through the first half, and hopefully, situations in games like this, you want to see maybe a 2-minute drive, either offensively or defensively, to kind of be, we can do that and simulate that in practice, but, do it in a real game would be great. So hopefully they can get to that point in this football game.
How about these Peters and Sproles? Will they see any time?
No, not in this game.
What have you seen from Carson in his first couple of days back?
He's doing well. He's doing well. He's moving well. He's making good decisions, throwing the ball extremely well. Talked about his arm the other day being live and fresh, and he's doing the right things, with his rehab, and have been excited at the stage that he's in.
Hey, Doug, what type of improvement would you like to see Thursday night against the Browns after last week versus the Patriots?
Well, I think some of the takeaways and really going into the execution, quite honestly. We got to eliminate penalties, big penalties. Turnovers have been kind of a sore spot, obviously in these first couple of weeks. We got to create. We had some opportunities to take the ball away the other night, and we didn't do that. But just overall execution. Hopefully now our units are starting to play, more. They're playing longer. They're playing together. That's the way practices have been structured this week, to be able to promote that just a little bit. And so that should help, our guys that are so-called penciled-in starters to play a little bit better in a game like this.
If Jay doesn't play and the other guys don't come back, I think that leaves you with just 2 running backs for the game, right?
Very smart.
Good man.
Wow.
But what do you want to see from those 2 guys? It didn't seem like they had a great game.
Well, again, consistency. I want to see how well they rebound, come back, and it's a great opportunity for both of them. And listen, they're both veteran players. They've played a lot of football in this league, and it's one of those sort of battles that we've been keeping our eye on this training camp, and it's great for both of them. And it's kind of ironic that it would come down to maybe a game or two here that these 2 guys are competing, and it's unfortunate for the other guys that are nicked up, because we want to see them as well. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity for Wendell and Matt and for them to get some really extensive time in this game.
At the same time, at wide receiver, I mean, you haven't had Alshon, Nelson hasn't played and everything, and Mac's been hurt. How important is it? Like, do you want to get those guys in, obviously, before the season? I mean, do you want to see those guys, and also how much has that been a benefit to guys like Shelton and the other receivers?
Well, I think you'd like to have them at least get into live action, get tackled, get hit, things of that nature. But I don't think it's the I don't think you have to do that, for those guys, for Alshon, for Nelson. Max, a different story, I think, because special teams comes into play, with him, and just for him, it's just been the rest that he's getting has really helped him, and so hopefully this week, we'll see where he's at. He practiced a little bit yesterday and got out there and did some nice things, so he's progressing, and we'll see where he's at, after today, and then make a decision if even Max is going to be, available, because he's another one that's, he's a big part of our special teams units, and I want to make sure that going forward that he's also 100% to start the season.
Doug, because the starters are treating this as more of a real game preparation week, can you feel a different sense of urgency at practices right now?
You can, and it's usually the way it falls. This week of camp, usually league-wide, most teams are going to play their starters a little more. And so practices are geared that way. Even for a coaching staff, we have to go through the routine of game plans and, putting books together or iPads together and drawings and go through that whole process too, because it's, we normally don't do that in training camp. We don't game plan. So outside of, putting a few thoughts down on paper. So just going through the routine, and it's great for Mike Groh, and Press Taylor to be able to structure their week just like we're doing with the players, and so it's definitely, that sense of urgency kind of creeps up just a little bit more in weeks like this.
What is the plan for Brandon Graham as far as his playing time goes? Just coming back yesterday, will he see any time Thursday, or perhaps?
Probably not this Thursday. He's just working himself back in. He's progressing well, obviously, and just want to make sure he's ready for the beginning of the year.
What are the differences between your game planning this week and the regular season game planning?
What are the differences? I just think it's the routine. It's how we practice. We're out of camp mode now. As far as training camp schedule, our practices are in the afternoon. We focus more on the guys who we think are going to play in this game. They're the ones that take 85% of the reps, during the day, and it's just the routine of getting back into a normal week schedule. It's kind of the biggest change that we see. It's the way I set it up anyway. For these guys.
The first team offense hasn't done much this preseason. You're obviously missing some key pieces. Does it matter to you that you haven't seen much from them? And additionally, do you find a connection between preseason performance and regular season?
Maybe I'm superstitious, but I really don't like being 4-0 in the preseason. And because now's the time where you're sort of experimenting with plays. You're trying maybe some different personnel groups, some combinations. You're just trying to evaluate talent. And so, it is different. It's a little different, but at the same time, you're still trying to get ready for week one, and our home opener. And it is tough when all your guys aren't out there. But they also know that they're preparing themselves for that season opener and getting themselves prepared that way. So I don't concern myself too much about it right now.
With the contract extension that you and Howie both received this all season, how has that changed? How can that allow, or how has that given you the opportunity to look even beyond just the season in terms of how you want to coach and how you want to develop players and how?
Quite honestly, to be honest with you, I'm so thankful, obviously, for the extension. But I honestly, and this is not to make a joke or whatever, but I'm so focused on today and getting better today. I don't really look that far down the road. I'm just not. I don't. If I let my mind go there, then I'm taking it away from trying to get better today. So quite honestly, I haven't really spent a whole lot of time thinking about that.
Jim Schwartz mentioned yesterday that the nickel competition is going to be huge tomorrow, Thursday night. What do you make of the way all those guys have performed so far?
Yeah, I would agree with him. It's a position obviously that we've been watching, throughout OTAs and camp, and these two guys, or really a couple of guys, have been in there. Maddox, Sidney, kind of the two primary guys have been in there. They've done well, and at the same time, there's enough to coach off of to get them better. It's a tough position. It's a physical position. There's a lot happening in there, It's different than playing on the outside. So these two guys are young players, and really both of them are, rookie players, and they're learning each and every day and each and every week, and they've been exposed to a lot. So these next couple of weeks are going to be big for them.
What do you need to see Nick Foles do better Thursday than he did last week before he got hurt?
Well, again, just consistency. You guys saw a couple of throws early in the game were just not Nick Foles type throws as far as accuracy goes. So just making those types of routine type plays, and just overall execution. Would love to see a touchdown drive or two, obviously, or points out of the first unit, and I think just too with them playing more this week together, you'll see a little better execution, obviously Thursday night.
Doug, I believe today your book gets released. Why?
Had no idea. What's that?
What was the thinking behind you doing the book and revealing as much as you did?
To make sure I signed a copy to you.
All right, thank you. I would appreciate that. No, it's kind of an interesting.
When the project was first introduced, I was against it. I'm quite honestly, I didn't want to do it, and then I got to thinking, it's a way for people, I think, to kind of see me in a different light a little bit. You guys see me like this as coach, being around the team, and I'm a very private person, and I don't talk about myself or my family a bunch, but it's just a way, I think, for people to kind of maybe get to know me outside of football. And it's not I didn't want it to be like a sports book or anything, more on if it's motivational, if it's inspirational, if it's spiritual, whatever it is, that's kind of the message behind this project. And now that obviously, and I haven't even checked I don't even know where to check, but if it's getting any kind of reviews or not, but I am excited for it, and to see what people think about it, and it's just it's another one of those things in my life that's been a blessing, and along this journey of where we're headed and what we're doing, and probably be my last one too. Thanks.